Hey everyone, it's Rob. Today we're going to take a look at the Steelseries. Yeah, that's it. The Steelseries. Today we're going to take a look at the Steelseries Alias Pro. Now, right now I'm recording this intro on an Elgato Wave 3, but later on we'll shift over to this for the rest of the video. And not only can you listen to me tell you about the difference between the two, you can hear it for yourself. Let's get this unwrapped. Here we have the Steelseries Alias Pro. This is the XLR dual USB kit and includes an XLR mixer. I like how it specifies that this one's for PC. It makes me think that people would probably have tried to buy this for the Xbox or PlayStation had it not said that. Here we actually have the XLR microphone. Here we have the XLR mixer. Underneath here we have a pull tab. We should have our cables, and we do. We have our instruction book. We have our nice heavy-duty XLR cable. We have an outlet adapter. We have a connection adapter. And here we have our power adapter, which depending on your region, you will have a different adapter. Obviously, I'm in North America, so I get this prongs. Inside here, we should have two USB-C cables. And we do. Go ahead and get it out of the tape. We've got it out of the bag. We can already see that it is mounted onto a tabletop mount. It's kind of loose. Just a little quarter turn there. It's a nice setup. We notice that it already comes on a shock mount, which is nice. Without plugging it in, we can see the XLR cord plug in there in the back, and we can see how it sets within the shock mount. You really can't set this up without the shock mount, which is a good thing. It has a really nice look to it, real clean. If you got pets, this may not stay that clean, but nice Steelseries logo. On the bottom here, we have a nice rubberized material, so it'll stay pretty well in place. This is what the XLR mixer looks like once we get it out of its plastic. You have a 3.5 millimeter jack here for self-monitoring if you want to use that. Again, we have that nice rubberized material on the bottom, so it's not really going to slide anywhere. We do have what appears to be, this is a clear rubber, so I'm assuming that it is for preventing it from sliding, but I think that this could also have some LEDs underneath it that'll illuminate, which we see that these do have LEDs underneath them, so that would make sense that that illuminates as well. We have really smooth dials here. These are not infinite. They do stop at one side to the other. Same here. This one has a nice smooth action, but it does have a start and stop point, which is different than some manufacturers out there where you can spin their knobs infinitely. And because they put a warning on here, I just wanted to make sure that we're very clear to make sure that this is powered off before you connect the XLR cable. Additionally, for those of you that this may be your first XLR mic, you can see that these cables, there is a male and female into these. Also in the back here, you will notice there are the two USB-C connections. There's a line out, and right here is for the power in, and there is a power switch. Now that we've seen what's in the box, I'm gonna get this put together and we'll start testing it out and see how it sounds. So I just got the microphone set up, and this is my very first take of trying to capture my voice on the Alias Pro mic. And so I'm gonna play it back and see how it sounds. But know that I have not changed any settings between my previous microphone and this microphone, other than making sure that this was the correct audio input. So if you're looking at the screen right now, you might be, what is that you're using as the EQ? This is the Steelseries GG app. First, little disclaimer, I think there might be a bit of bloatware on this, but the EQ and the presets are really easy to work with, and I think that this could be the secret sauce to the whole thing. If you go in and take a look at the mixer, we have master, game, chat, media, aux, and mic. And each one has a slider, one for the broadcast, and two for you to hear yourself on the monitor. You can adjust these independently,
or you can keep these linked and do them all at the same time. If you click the gear, you can select to add it to your personal mix or add it to your stream mix. One thing I have noticed and to watch out for is that when I will shut off the system software, sometimes when I change an audio input or output, before you go to stream, make sure that you go back into GG and have your personal mix, your stream mix, and your mic input set correctly. Or you could potentially lose your mic input and you'll be looking at your OBS and you'll hear games, but you're like, where's my voice? And that's because your mic input will reset the default and it won't have any mic set to it. So watch out for that. And so far, that's really been my own complaint. And to be completely transparent, the thing I like the most about this entire setup is this GG software. Because of the ability to clean up my own audio with this simply, easily, I think that you're just as well off with like $100 mic and you don't actually have to go all out and spend $330 on an XLR mic. Just take this GG software, which is free, and take your $150 mic and go ahead and go to town with it. And it sounds great. This is a test to see if I can overpower and what happens when I do. I have my gain set way too high. And as you can hear, it's humming it out and making it sound terrible. Now, when I do that with my Elgato Wave 3, you can't do that. It won't allow you to do that.
I'm trying to overpower this to see how bad it sounds.
So people who are newer to content creation and streaming, you may be better off getting a mic where you can't actually overpower it, even when you try, because if you're not monitoring yourself and hearing that because you're newer and you just haven't started to get to that level yet, you can easily ruin the audio quality of your stream and never notice. At the top here, you will have a tab for mixer, game, chat, media, aux, and mic. And you can independently go in and adjust the EQ on all of those, or they have convenient presets created for you. You'll notice here, they have like Apex Legends, Ark Survival, Battlefield 2042, and these are not only to enhance the audio quality for your stream, they're to enhance the audio quality for you as well while playing the game. In chat, you can go over here and change the way that you sound. Media, so if you have a different media input source other than your audio and other than your game that you're going to play through, you can set an EQ for that. And the biggest one, and the one you'll probably be using the most, is the mic. Currently, I have this set to deep voice, and that's what we've been listening to. And that's what I made sure to have the Wave 3 set to at the beginning of the video as well. But because this is the Alias Pro, we're going to switch over to one of those profiles now and see how that sounds. They have two different selections. One if you have it on the stand on your desk, and one for being on the boom arm. I have this one sitting on my desk currently. I haven't bothered to put it on the boom arm yet, and we're going to go ahead and select that. So this is what it sounds like when it's set up for the desk stand. Just so you kind of know what the audio like in the room is, I'm in a carpeted room. I have things on the wall. It's not really designed to be completely optimal for capturing high quality audio. I do have a fan on overhead, and I have a PC going, which sounds, it's kind of loud. The radiator on the water cooler, I'm not going to lie, makes some noise. So if you're not hearing that hum, that's because my noise gate's working. And the AI to help remove background audio. But to be clear about that, that works on other mics too, not just the Alias Pro. So when I was doing that intro earlier with that Elgato Wave 3, all that noise I just talked about, that was present there as well. So if during that section you're like, man, I heard a lot of noise. And right now you're like, man, I don't hear that noise. Well, you can chalk that win up to the Alias Pro. Now, one thing that's different about this Alias Pro as opposed to the regular Alias, since we have that XLR mixer, we don't have LEDs on the mic itself displaying the status. That's only on the regular Alias. And since we have them available to us, let's go ahead and jump around through a couple other audio profiles to see what they sound like. It's always fun to play with a walkie-talkie. Who doesn't like to relive some childhood memories? Breaker, breaker, 1, 2. Little less nasal. I don't think that I'm very nasally to begin with, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Deep voice. I don't think that's anything someone's ever going to accuse me of having. I have a pretty mid voice. It's not that deep, but it's also not screechy high.
clarity low pitch, clarity high pitch, broadcast low pitch. I think I like this one, but I'm not 100% sure. Broadcast high pitch. Balanced for when you don't want to have any of the funny stuff going on. Alias Pro for the desk stand, which is what I'm using now. And I think that this is probably my favorite out of all the presets. Alias Pro on the boom arm. Alias for the desk stand. Alias for the boom arm. And here we have default, just total flat lines. Here I wanted to get an audio test so you can hear me saying the same thing with the same settings across 3 different mics, which are in 3 different price ranges, so we could get a pretty decent comparison on the quality of mics that are out there. In today's video, we're testing the Steelseries Alias Pro against the Elgato Wave 3 and the Yeti Blue. This is being recorded on the Alias Pro. In this video, we're testing the Steelseries Alias Pro against the Elgato Wave 3 and the Yeti Blue. This is being recorded on the Elgato Wave 3. In this video, we're testing the Steelseries Alias Pro against the Elgato Wave 3 and the Yeti Classic. This is the Yeti Classic. We do have the capability to go into the GG software and edit the colors of the LEDs that we have on the mixer. I'm going to go ahead and leave those as red because I think that if you mess with those, you're just going to confuse yourself later on. But you do have the LED on the underside that you can play with, and that you can modify in conjunction with the rest of your Steelseries gear. And I happen to have a Steelseries keyboard, which you can see up on the screen here. I got the TKL9. And with a simple click of the button, I can have the color on that LED bar match the pattern that's going on my keyboard. So one thing that I like to have a little bit of control of and that I'm working on to be better about is noise gating and to reduce background noise because I'm a pet owner. And on any given day, I probably have not only my 2 dogs, but my in-laws' dogs as well. And when you get 4 dogs in one house, regardless of how big that house is, it could be the size of a Cracker Jack box, or you could have a 10,000 square foot mansion. 4 dogs is a lot of dogs, and they're going to bark. So what can you do to reduce, if not eliminate, that background noise as much as possible? And that's where Clearcast AI noise cancellation comes in. So as I slide that noise gate up, I have to do a better job of projecting to make sure that you get everything. And as you can see, I'm only about 6 inches from the microphone right now, and it's clipping out some of my audio. So be careful how high you turn it. But if you turn it all the way down, it's going to catch everything and anything. And you're probably at this point starting to hear some background noise from my fan and from my dog that's chewing a ball by my foot, and a dog that's sitting over in a corner growling at the dog that's chewing at the ball because they're jealous of it, and things like that. So we'll get that back to there. I think that's a pretty good level. I've had a lot of success with canceling some of the background noise that could otherwise be distracting. So in addition to the noise gate and the compressor, you also have some noise elimination, which one works to reduce background static noise like fans, that's the background, and the other works to reduce impact noises. And these are like your mouse clicks and your keystrokes. One thing I also have a tendency to do, which is kind of an unconscious habit, is I will click my tongue and not even realize I did it. And it makes a noise kind of like a plosive, and it will get picked up very easily. Impact helps prevent that. I'm kind of doing it right now. And again, it's not something that I'm necessarily consciously aware of, but I'll just do it from time to time, typically right before I start talking. In fact, I just did it right there. And again, I just did it again. Hopefully you don't notice it and you didn't pick up on it because that impact reduction would have removed that. So I don't know about the rest of you, but I personally think I got a lot of value out of that test. Just to hear the difference between that Yeti Classic, the Elgato Wave 3, and the Steelseries Alias Pro. Now I'm going to say that I could definitely hear the difference between the Elgato and the Steelseries over the Yeti,
but the Yeti is substantially older at this point and the least expensive of the three. Whereas the Elgato and the Steelseries, I personally have a little bit of a hard time telling the difference between the two, other than the fact that I know which is which. But it's like, is that $180 difference? That's a question I think that you'll have to answer for yourself. So I can't really tell you which one I think you should buy, but I will tell you that I think the secret sauce behind it all is the GG by Steelseries. This software can take all these different qualities of mics and make them sound good. So even if you've been doing this for years, or you're just getting started out and you have like a $50 to $100 mic, you can download this software and make your microphone sound professional. And if you can't make it sound quite professional, you're going to at least make it sound to where it's not running people off as soon as they hop on your streams or click on your videos. I'm Rob. Thanks for watching. And remember that if you enjoyed this video or found value from it, make sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing.
And an extra special thanks to all my YouTube members and Twitch subscribers whose support helps make these videos possible.